What I want to spend our time on is back here on the first page. This is a copy of our delivery ticket. This is the most important document in our company, bar none, because it serves four functions. First, it's a delivery ticket. It's what you need. It provides the information you need to make a delivery. Very quickly, it becomes a quality control document because you will start documenting things on this ticket that happen to your concrete, that you do to your concrete, or that you see done in the field in other areas. So at the end of the day, all these tickets are turned in, and from these we generate our invoices. So it becomes a billing document. If we don't have the tickets, we can't invoice, and we don't get paid for all the effort we did that day. And then lastly, it becomes a historical document. So 2 years from now, we go to that warehouse floor that had some problems, and we go to this delivery ticket first. You want to make it as complete a story as possible. The first thing we like you to do, and we started this about 2 years ago, the second you get your ticket, we want you to check for the big 5 in 5. And I'm going to repeat myself intentionally just to drive the point home. The big 5 in 5 are these things. First, your name. The plant operators, they're real busy guys. I compare a plant operator to like a drummer. Dispatch can send him several tickets. Let's say he grabs the wrong one and drops it down the pipe to you. Because you're trained to check your big 5 in 5, I grab a ticket, it's not mine. You follow me, and because the first thing you do is you look for your name and it's not yours, you're on the radio right away. And then what we do is we stop everything that's happening at that plant and figure out, okay, who's got Brett's ticket? If the guy hadn't left the yard yet, then we got to figure out, okay, how do we do this? Do we, switch tickets, switch trucks? What do we do? But the beauty of it is you're right under the plant. You caught that on a busy day. That guy has not gone very far at all. We can stop it before it gets to the into the forms, and that's where it gets very expensive. Is it my truck number? That's number 2. Now, you will have a truck number. You'll be assigned to your truck. You'll drive that truck every day. And if that doesn't happen and you're in a different truck than what you're driving, here's what will result for that trip. The computer's going to be fooled because we didn't know you were in a different truck, so we put you in your truck. Well, your truck's not going to move. It's going to be in the shop. So all the digital equipment that we just talked about, it's not going to work. But that's important to know because it'll mess up the dispatcher. He won't be able to track you and know where you are so he can make decisions on where to send you next. Now we come down to use, number 3. It's right down here on the ticket. In this case, it says SW, which stands for sidewalk. Why do you need to know the use? For 2 important reasons. One is it gives you something to look for out in the field. Because you can go to a residential neighborhood and you can have a customer have 3 crews out there. And I guarantee you the first one you drive by is going to wave you over because they think it's their load. And if they're pouring a floor and you've got driveway, you don't want to put that mix in their floor. The second reason you want to know the use is even the most important. It needs to support the slump. The use and the slump have to jive. They have to make sense. You get your ticket. If it was a 1 inch, you need to ask a question. You say, hey, I got a ticket with a sidewalk for 1 inch. And we say, hey, Brett, excellent question. That's wrong. It should have been a 4 inch slump, and you're going to be bashed as a 4 inch slump. Please change that on the ticket. Good, no problem. And then finally, the 5th of the big 5 in 5 is look for the presence of the letter A or AE in this top line. And here you find it says WA 564. It could say A564, 564 AE. That letter stands for air entrainment. There's some stuff here that just makes sense as far as location. Here's where we put the customer and the address. These fields right here says, you'll see it says 10-1 load, 10-2 leave plant, due on job. That's the time you'll see that you're due on job. But what we'd like you to do is as you leave the plant, we would like you to write your time down when it happened. As you arrive on the job site, when you start pouring, write your time down when it happened, etc. Oftentimes, depending on the job site, you will have an inspector take a test of your concrete. And then writing it down captures that forever when we use this as a historical document. Previous truck. If there's a truck in front of you, the number of that truck will be right here. And all that is a nice way for you to say, hey, I'm not finding this place. Instead of asking dispatch, I see truck 42 ahead of me. I'm just going to call and say 42, hey Pete, I'm at this oak tree. I don't see the right-hand turn. Well, you got to go 30 feet past the oak tree and take a right. Okay, good. So it just helps you connect with the guy ahead of you a little bit sooner. Estimated slump on the job. Concrete will dry up in travel, right? What we would like to get is you to capture that slump when you arrive on the job site. It kind of gives us an idea of how much slump loss there is in transit. And we will train you through a video. You'll see this video every day of your training. Now, if I had to reduce this ticket to the most important field that needs to be filled out, always, 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 I would hate to do that because of all the stuff I said on how important this is, but if I had to do it, it would be right here. Water added per customer. This is where you document what you put in the mixer. So if Ralph tells you to put 70 in and you put in 7, this is where you put 7. The thing we want you to do is always put something in there. Fill that with something. If you don't put any water in, put a big old 0 in there. Otherwise, put down whatever you put in the mixer. This information here, the top line is going to be the mix description, and we have thousands of mixes, and you can describe them a number of different ways. Anything else that's under here could be ingredients in the mix, or it could be something that you have to load on your truck. Read your ticket down to see all the things that you have to load on it. Most of this stuff is loaded for you through the mix, through the plant. Never document on the back side of the ticket, because when we scan these, we only scan the front, and the front's saved forever, but anything written on the back is lost forever. But anything that you observe on the job site, always, always, always write it down on the front down here. As you guys get to know different concrete tests, if they do something improperly, document. Took the slump test in 2 lifts instead of 3. You know, there's all kinds of things to know, and then when you see it done improperly, document it. A lot of information, but again, it's because our ticket is the most important document we have.